Gemini. May 22nd through June 21st. Sun sign, Gemini. Sign, the twins. Ruling planet, Mercury. Gender, masculine. Element, air. Quality, mutable. Colors, yellow or gold. Birthstones, pearl, moonstone. Compatibility, Aquarius. Non-compatibility, Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo. The Sun in Gemini. Sun sign Geminians tend to be jacks of all trades and masters of none, or at least few. Quick-witted and versatile, they love wordplay and jokes, and are often extremely witty and amusing companions. Expert communicators, they are confident public speakers with enviable timing and panache, and are excellent at networking or bringing shy or diverse people together in social situations. However, even though Geminians are noted for mental fluency, they can suffer from a very short attention span and routine scares them away. As for living alone, it's simply not on the agenda. A Geminian must have an audience or at least someone else to bounce ideas off, and, hopefully, someone who occasionally has the good sense to bring them down to earth. Their major flaws are superficiality and manipulativeness. Ruled by Mercury, their quicksilver minds rarely alight on any one subject long enough to absorb the finer points. They can also be very guileful, sometimes to the point of being accomplished liars. The tricksters of the Zodiac, Geminians are constantly looking for the main chance, regardless of the cost in human terms. They are frequently cold-hearted and uneasy with the gentler emotions. The fact is that Geminians are very uncomfortable with deep emotions, and when faced with strong feelings they tend to take refuge in flippant remarks, sarcasm or logical analysis. Their inconsistency has given rise to the interpretation of the sign of the twins as being two-faced. Career. Although many Geminians are successfully self-employed, they find working alone absolutely unacceptable because they need the motivation and feedback of a workplace. The ultimate charmers and communicators, typical Geminians are the salespersons of the Zodiac. They enjoy challenges, but feel trapped by deadly routine or too many rules and regulations. Anything that involves using personality and persuasion suits Geminians, though that can include the life of a confidence trickster. Relationships. Geminians enjoy being in a lively family and seek partners with strong opinions and marked preferences. At least it's something to discuss and argue over. Talking is always the Geminian's favorite hobby, listening has to be an acquired skill. Many Geminians have relatively few real friends but dozens of acquaintances. They are keen to make relationships work but tend to be too egocentric and outgoing to ever really know what makes their partners tick, or why they are unhappy. Ideal partner. Because they often have their head in the clouds, Geminians need a planner, someone who is careful with money. Taurians are too plotting and Capricornians far too pessimistic, but typical sun sign Virgoans, though they can be far too analytical and organized, can do the trick if softened with other planetary influences. Perhaps, curiously, it is another air sign, Aquarius, that is ideal for them. Aquarians understand the Geminian restlessness and drive, but add their own gentleness and more profound idealism. Compatibility. Gemini compatibility with Aries. Feisty Arians may seem glamorous but underneath they are far too serious and self-focused for Geminians. Gemini compatibility with Cancer. Cancerian emotional blackmail and frequent tantrums will send Gemini fleeing. Calmer crabs might last. Gemini compatibility with Libra. Both real charmers, Geminians and Librans can seem to have something special but they won't be soulmates. Gemini compatibility with Capricorn. The austere goat may view easygoing and plausible Geminians with suspicion and, justifiable, cynicism. Gemini compatibility with Taurus. Taurians all too often fall for the famous Geminian charm, which will finally be too superficial for the heavyweight bull. Gemini compatibility with Leo. High and mighty Leos can be magnificent lovers but, all too often, there will be a major personality clash. Gemini compatibility with Scorpio. Scorpion's glamour will fascinate Geminians and there may be a real sexual buzz, but tears in the end. Gemini compatibility with Aquarius. Geminians can fall for the challenge of life with a true Aquarian in a big way and find lifelong happiness. Gemini compatibility with Gemini. Fellow Geminians know only too well each other's wiles, so this won't usually work for long. Gemini compatibility with Virgo. Geminians can find the more sociable Virgoans good company but they will soon tire of them. Gemini compatibility with Sagittarius. This will be a fun relationship with wild times and big plans but it won't make for a settled, cozy home. Gemini compatibility with Pisces. Geminians have little patience for the often difficult, emotionally intense and rather contradictory Pisceans.